Hello, hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more transfer rumours and gossip. So potentially rumours that are stemming out today from the media, as we all know, and the name has been mentioned who Manchester United have previously been linked with, as we all currently know. So we will start off with today with Ivan Perisic. So reportedly now in the reportedly Ivan Perisic has been mentioned in the media. Reportedly last summer, he signed a new deal with Inter Milan until 2022. But reportedly, according to Sky Sports and according to a few media outlets, that Manchester United could get Ivan Perisic at the end of the season, reportedly, because reportedly Inter Milan are willing to sell the player, raise some funds, because reportedly, according to the Sun, they want to sign Luka Modric from Real Madrid. So they're looking to raise some funds for Perisic's departure and go for Luka Modric from Real Madrid. So reportedly, he could be on the move to Manchester United at the end of the season. Reportedly, could even Perisic, but he's a player, obviously, that Manchester United have previously been linked with. Obviously, we was in talks, with Inter Milan, was it the summer of 2017, when we was heavily linked with him. Had two bids, turned down for the player. Inter Milan at that moment in time were demanding that they wanted £48 million. Manchester United and Ed Woodward weren't willing to pay up to that price for the player, considering that he is 29 years of age. He's Ivan Perisic, but reportedly he's 29, as I said. Reportedly, he could be available for just £31 million. So reportedly, Manchester United could get him in a £31 million cut, according to the media. So reportedly, the rumours are coming back now that Manchester United are linked with Ivan Perisic. But as I said, he's got good physical attributes. He's very good in the air. He can put crosses into the box. Can Ivan Perisic, as I did say, he's not a world class player, but he can be deployed as a second striker. He can play as an attacking midfielder, and he can also play on the wing as well. I think he does mainly play on the wing as well. And as we always said, that's one of the areas that Manchester United needs strengthening up, is that wing position. I think we do need a right-hand sided midfielder. We do need a winger, but he can play as a wing and a second striker. Can Ivan Perisic, and he spoke about before as Ivan Perisic, of coming to play in the Premier League. He's dreamed about playing in the Premier League, as we all know. Potentially, in his own opinion, he did want to join Manchester United, but actually, at the moment in time, by Lucius Belty, he was actually, forced to stay at Inter Milan, as we know. But potentially, the individual awards he's won is a Belgian Pro League goal scorer, Belgian Football of the Year, as we all currently know. He's Croatian, as we all know. He's played for Club Brugge in the past. He's played for Borussia Dortmund in the past. He's played for Wolfsburg in the past as Ivan Perisic. But the rumours are stemmed up today. But obviously, it did say last year reportedly we was going to get around the £50 million spending spree to spend players in this window. According to the latest news of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has currently said, he doesn't think we'll sign anyone in this January transfer window. He says it's unlikely that Manchester United will sign anyone in this January transfer window, and he doesn't expect Manchester United to sign anyone in this transfer window. But as I did say to you guys, I said we need a strong central defender, we need a defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious, and we need a right wing, because as I did say, all our attack is coming from the left-hand side, as we all currently know in the current process. But as I said, Ivan Perisic today in the media as reportedly being mentioned as well in the current process, and he isn't a world-class player, but he has got good physical attributes. He is good on the ball. He is good with both feet. He can put crosses into the box, as we all know, and he can score goals, and he can provide assists, as we all know, can Ivan Perisic. But he's got a deal until Inter Milan, till 2022, because he signed it last summer, as we all couldn't know, and he's never played in the Premier League, and it would be good for him, to experience the Premier League, Ivan Perisic, because he's never played in the Premier League. He is now 29, so obviously he's now out of his prime now. He's Ivan Perisic, but as I said, it says reportedly Inter Milan are looking to sell him, because obviously they want Luka Modric, reportedly, according to the media. But as I did say, Solskjaer said it's unlikely we'll get any signings in this window, and we definitely, do need signings. We've still got players, coming to the end of the contract, so we have got to think about contract renewals, as we all currently know. But as I did say, Solskjaer's the right man for the job. He said he'd love the job on a full-time basis, as he did say, and he said he's going to give everybody the chance. I think the youth are going to grow and develop under Solskjaer as well, and so far it's looking very good. 5 wins out of 5, as we all know, 16 goals scored. Lukaku scored in his last 3 games, as we all know. And potentially, I'll be surprised, if Lukaku and Lukaku and Sanchez do actually start against Tottenham, to be quite honest with you. I know they'll probably improve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Lukaku may start, considering his recent form. He scored 3 goals in his last 3 games, but obviously, as you've seen, Rashford, Martial and Lingard have taken up their shirts, taken up their positions, as we all currently know, because I did say Rashford's mainly number 9, Martial's mainly left, mainly better on the left, and as I did say, so potentially, I'll be surprised if Lukaku and Sanchez start, because they are fringe players, as we all know. And they did start fringe players, against Reading. He went with 11, that have never played together really, as we all currently know in the process. This is why the rhythm wasn't as good. This is why it wasn't as good performance, because he potentially put a lot of young ones out there. He made 9 changes, as we all know, did on the Solskjaer. So yeah, Manchester United reported linked with Ivan Perisic. So the next name that we were reportedly linked with is Costas Manolas, as I've been updating you on a few occasions, as we all know. So potentially Costas Manolas, as we all know, reportedly now it says Juventus and reportedly Barcelona have expressed their interest in Costas Manolas. We know he's an okay defender. I don't really know much about him. He's nowhere near on the same levels as the likes of the Koulibalis or the the Diego Gordons or the Sergio Ramoses or the Rafael Varans, as we all know. But Manchester United have been linked to him. He's got a 32 million release clause, as we all know, in his current deal, as Costas Manolas, as we all know. He is Greek, he's the defender. He is 27 years of age, so he's just past his mid-20s, is the player. Reportedly, he represents Raiola, as we all know. But potentially, it did confirm that Man United were working on the deal with Raiola. He said potentially Raiola wanting talks, with Man United of getting a 32 million deal over the line. A report from Greek was suggesting that Man United were in talks to get him in this summer, Costas Manolas, but he's an ex-Olympiacos, he's an ex-Athens player as well, and he's like 6 foot, I think, something like that. So he's tall, is the current player, but he has been linked with a move to Manchester United. As we all know, it did say Man United were looking to trigger his 32 million release clause and offering him around 6 million a year as well. But I think this may be done in the summer, if potentially, a deal does get over the line, because he's got a 32 million release clause in his contract. And I said we need a central defender, because I think Lindelof played well this season, to be quite fair to him. Bay's been in and out of the team. He's still suspended, but he has got great potential, as we all know. I think Phil Jones and Chris Smalling probably will leave at the end of the season. Jones is good when he gets them running games, but he's known for injuries. He's Phil Jones, as we all know. Chris Smalling as well. He's injured at the moment, and I think he could go at the end of the season as well, even though he's got a contract till 2022 as Smalling as well. We've got Marcus Rojo there, who's obviously good as a backup option. Is Marcus Rojo, as we all currently know, because he can play as a left wing back, he can play as a full back, and he can play as a centre back as well. But we definitely, do need a strong central defender in there. And potentially, we know Fossil Mensah and Tuanzebe are out on loan at the moment as well. But potentially, yeah, so we have been linked with a move for Costas Manolas. As we all know, he's been mentioned in the last couple of days. Don't really know much about him. I know he's Greek. I know he's 27 years of age, as we all know. Reportedly, he's pretty good for Roma. He's a very, very disciplined defender, reportedly, as I currently said. And we could see players leave as well. We could see players leave. But Solskjaer did confirm he was going to be having discussions with Ed Woodward about this current January transfer window, because obviously we only got 3 players last summer. We got Diego Dalot. We got Diego Dalot, we got Fred, 52 million. Fred really hasn't had the opportunity, to be fair to me. He needs more game time under his belt, does Fred, to get playing to his potential level, as we all know. But potentially, when we had Mourinho last summer, we wasn't getting his main priority targets, wanted to get into the club. The board weren't backing some of his signings. Mourinho's have wanted to get in, as we all currently know. So we might make at least one signing, in this January transfer window, because we desperately do need a couple of signings, as we all do know. But as I said, my expectations this year is to get us back up there, competing with the likes of City and Liverpool. And our target this season is to get in the top 4, because, obviously it's between us, Arsenal and Chelsea, for that top 4 position. We want the top 4 position. We've still got a chance of obviously winning the FA Cup as well, and that's our chance of any silverware, as we all know. But just to update you on, as I did say, Manchester United have also been linked with Philippe Coutinho. Now, as we all know, Manchester United have been linked with a move for Philippe Coutinho. As we all know, that's been coming out in the press in the last couple of days. It has suggested now that Man United have reportedly contacted Barcelona. Manchester United have reportedly, been in negotiations with Barcelona, reportedly over this. According to the Barcelona director and the sporting relations, though, reportedly they think Coutinho's still got a future at Barcelona. He really did well at Liverpool. He made a massive impact. He flourished at Liverpool, did Philippe Coutinho, but he hasn't really made the impact at Barcelona, as he did at Liverpool, for 5 years, as we all know. So he hasn't really met the expectation levels so far at Barcelona. Recently, he hasn't been playing because he has been lacking game time as Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. We know it will cost the club in the excess of £100 million, to get Coutinho on the board. Obviously, we've got the financial power to meet that valuation, but I just don't think potentially Coutinho would be open to the move of coming to, to come to Old Trafford and play at Manchester United, Philippe Coutinho, because obviously the Spanish expert has reportedly confirmed there's no truth in the rumours with Coutinho being linked to a move back to Old Trafford or the Premier League, so the Spanish expert has totally dispelled the myth, but it's also reportedly said that Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City have been interested in Coutinho. He has now been at Barcelona for 1 year as Philippe Coutinho, as we all know, he has been at Barcelona for 1 year now. He's still got a long contract, but he's done 1 year on his contract at the moment. Barcelona paid £142 million for him January last year, and he's the third most expensive signing of all time. He's Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. But as I said, he can play as attacking mid, he can play as a second striker, and he can actually play on both flanks as well. So his versatility is very good. He is a maestro, as we all know. He can score goals, he can contribute goals, he's got a lot of tenacity about his play. As we all know, he's age 26, so he's still in his mid-20s. He's Brazilian, so he's still got a lot of years ahead of him as Philippe Coutinho, as we all currently know. So potentially Man United have opened up talks, but as I said, the Barcelona director has confirmed on the sporting relations he's still got a future, with Barcelona, even though Ousmane Dembele has been reportedly Barcelona's first choice recently, as we all know. But as I said, he hasn't really made an impact, in Spain with Barcelona so far as Philippe Coutinho, but he was brilliant in the Premier League, for 2013, 2018, with Liverpool. He was absolutely fantastic. I think Liverpool paid, £8.6 million for him from Inter Milan, where he actually began his senior career Philippe Coutinho, as we all know. He actually was on loan at Espanyol as well when he was a lot younger in his prime. He actually played under Mauricio Pochettino as well, did Philippe Coutinho. But could you imagine Philippe Coutinho in our team? He'd be absolutely fantastic, with him alongside Pogba and all that, Herrera and all that, and Rashford and Martial. He'd complement our team fantastically well, and he would be good in the attacking third of the pitch, would Philippe Coutinho. But as I currently said, I don't think it will happen anyway. I don't think we'll get a deal over the line for Philippe Coutinho. But the reports have been stemming that actually we have been the favourites, to actually, sign Philippe Coutinho, So reports have been, potentially coming out about that as well. What a great sign, he would be. What an impact he would make. And he knows about the Premier League because he played in the Premier League, with Liverpool for 5 seasons, of course, as well. Did Philippe Coutinho. So that's another name reportedly Manchester United have been linked to, because I think we need a centre defensive fielder, as we all know, because potentially Nemanja Matic, as we all know, he's improved under Solskjaer. His distribution's improved. He's getting forward more. He's galloping forward more, and he's very effective with his passing. But I think we need a centre defensive midfielder that's fast and tenacious because Matic is slow, as we all know. We need a strong central defender, as we do all keep saying. Lindelof, as I said, has improved this season, to be quite fair. We know a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see, Koulibaly, come into the club, because he's potentially, the player that we have heavily been linked with, as we all know. As I did say to you yesterday, reports were coming out yesterday saying that Manchester United, the rumours were stemming back from the media again. Obviously, we've got the financial power to meet his valuation. He's rated at around the £100 million. As you saw, Liverpool address their defensive deficiencies with the signing of with the signing of Virgil van Dijk for £75 million. But reports were coming out yesterday saying that well, Real Madrid had reportedly showed their interest in him. The Italian press reported that Real Madrid were willing to put a £90 million bid in for Koulibaly, but we know he's been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford. We know a lot of Manchester United fans would like to see him come in because he's one of the best, players in the world in his current position defensively. His versatility is very, very good. He adapts every area of his game very, very well. He's good in the air, and he'd be a great, great leader, in our back line with Koulibaly. But as I said, he's never played in the Premier League. He's 27 years of age, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He did sign a new deal, was it last year? Didn't include a release clause, but his current contract is with Napoli's until 2023. His Koulibaly's, and potentially used to play for Metz in his younger in his prime in the reserve team. He used to play for Genk. Napoli paid £7 million for him, as we all know, but Man United have held negotiations. 3 bids in the process so far have been turned down. The recent one was £95 million. But I don't think we're going to get any business done with Napoli in this window because Napoli, because the Napoli president confirmed that they are reluctant to sell him in this January transfer window. But if we've got any chance of getting him, I think it will be in the summer, to be quite honest with you. But as I said, I thought they'd have softened their stance a little bit, Napoli, with them, not in the Champions League now. They got knocked out of the Champions League last year. I thought they would have softened the stance, on Koulibaly, to be quite honest with you. But he would be a best signing. He would be the best signing, out of the players we are linked with. He would be the best, especially, defensively. Out of the defenders we're linked with, he would definitely, be the best signing, as we all currently know. But it will cost the club a lot of money, as we all know. Most expensive sign at the moment is Paul Pogba for £89 million. But as I said, we've been linked with, this Elder Militao, the Porto centre-back, Eder Militao, the Porto centre-back. As we all know, he's been mentioned quite a few times in the press. He's only 20 years of age. He only signed for Porto last summer, as we all know, but reportedly his performances in the Portuguese league this season have been good. His performances in the Champions League have reportedly been very, very good as well. He's got a 40-odd million release clause as a player. Reportedly, he's got 4 years left on his deal with Porto. He's predominantly a right back. He can play as a centre back, and he can play as a defensive midfielder as well. And he's only 20 years of age. He's a Brazilian international. Is this player? But reportedly, Liverpool have been interested in him. Reportedly, Real Madrid have also been interested in him as well. So Real Madrid are linked to quite a few targets because, as I did say, they've had problems since Zinedine Zidane left. Since Ronaldo left, Real Madrid have had problems, so they're not looking good attackingly this season. They want to bolster their defence up, the Real Madrid, as I currently said. So potentially, Eder Militao has been mentioned in the media quite a few times. His release clause is 40-odd million, as we all currently know. Potentially, we know there's rumours coming out about what's his name, Milan Skriniar. That's one of Ed Woodward's potential targets. As we all know, Milan Skriniar, as we all know, has been linked with a move to Old Trafford. Milan Skriniar, he's Inter Milan player. He's still young in his prime. He is 23 years of age. He's been at Inter since 2017, as we all know, as Milan Skriniar. Reportedly, he's made 60-odd appearances since 2017, with Inter Milan. There's been no sign of him as yet signing a new deal with Inter Milan, Milan Skriniar, as we all currently know. But as I said, he's an ex-Sampdoria player. He's Slovakian. I think Inter Milan paid around £20 million for him. He could play as a centre-back and a centre defensive midfielder as well. But reportedly, he will cost in the region of over £60 million, would Milan Skriniar as well. So potentially, we have been heavily linked with him as well. But we know we've been linked with Toby Alderweireld. He's been another name mentioned in the press, so we have been linked with Toby Alderweireld as well. As I said, I'd like Toby Alderweireld. I do have reservations about him. He needs to adjust his game, a little bit more, just Toby Alderweireld. But as I said regarding Toby Alderweireld, as I said, he can be a world-class central defender. He is Premier League proven, as we all currently know, is Toby Alderweireld. And potentially, he's Premier League proven. Tottenham have extended